Hey everyone, so I just wanted to take a moment to explain what this storytelling technique is all about. We realize that this is very different for many of you. You may have never done this kind of thing before, and so we wanted to make sure that you were comfortable before you began. So our stories are immersive. What that means is that you're not just reading a story with your students or listening to an audiobook with them. You're actually going to enter the story with them and live the story, and even partially change the story as you're in it. So every time you go through a story with a different set of students, there's a good chance the story will be rather different the next time. Now we start by having your students create their own personal characters. Their characters can have their own background, they can change their names, they can be anyone or anything that they would like. Now this is going to make the experience more personal for them and should make them more emotionally engaged in what is going on. And in every story, their character has a role. In a murder mystery, they might be the investigator. In another story, they might be a close personal friend of the main character. And you as a teacher have the role of portraying these main characters. When they want to have a conversation with the tavern owner in the murder mystery, you will play the role of the tavern owner and they play themselves. Now, every story is composed of steps, and you walk your students through the story step by step. And each step has a different flavor to it. So some steps are descriptive. We're introducing you to a character or a place or some context that exists between these characters before the action of the story has taken place. Other steps are narratives, which means that characters are either engaged in a dialogue with each other or they could be talking directly to the student. Right after a narrative is a role play, where the student gets to react to what they've heard or what they've been told, including all the knowledge that they've collected before this. And in a role play, the student is free to ask any questions they want, to have any actions they want, any reactions that they want, and you are playing the characters that they have been learning about. So in the murder mystery, for example, as an investigator, they will start to question the tavern owner and his wife about the murder that occurred in their tavern the day before. And you are going to play the tavern owner and his wife. Now they can pick and choose who they want to talk to, and they're going to choose whatever they would like to say. We have provided you with a complete guide for what the tavern owner and his wife actually think, what they believe, what they will lie about, and what they will tell the truth about, and how they will react if your students decide to ask certain types of questions. Outside of those parameters, you're free to do whatever you want to do. The students can decide to run off upstairs and check out the murder scene. They can decide to punch the tavern owner in the nose if they would like to. And you are free to have the tavern owner react in whatever way you would like. At all times, the goal is to have an unstructured conversation, to allow the students to explore the language and explore the story. The deeper the students get immersed into the story, the more they forget that they are learning a language and they start using the language as a tool to accomplish the goal of interacting with the story, which is entirely the purpose of using storytelling. So encourage that as much as you can. Now we make that a lot easier by not providing any scripts or limits to what happens in a role play. The student can literally ask any question they want, they can take any action that they want, and you are equally free to have anything happen in the story that you think will help advance the story. Now we have the next step after a role play and the next step after that, but during the time of the role play, the students can interact with anyone, they can do anything, and so can you. Now at the end of every story, we have a final step, which is a conclusion. Now, in the conclusion step, we focus on promoting discussion about the theme of the story. Some stories are talking about friendship and betrayal. Other stories are talking about jealousy and what jealousy will tend to lead to. Others talk about bullying. So take the time to really engage with your students during the conclusion as well. There are some really great discussions that can come out of that, completely unstructured conversations, and we provide as much support with research from the internet as we can on these topics so that you can really get into them with your students. So that's it. Thank you so much for watching. We have several other videos. Watch as many of them as you would like. We have a community forum on Facebook. We would love it if you would get onto the forum and become active and have fun. Remember that this is all about having fun and getting your students to talk. So have some awesome conversations, and we hope to talk to you soon.